Eagle Peak Trail, 0.8 miles, 1.29 kilometers. Here we go. So, this is Interstate State Park, which is only about 15 minutes from my house. And I thought it would be just fun to share this with everybody. Just a silent moment up here. And I thought that today I would do something really special and do a reading from The Secret Terrace by Bill Hughes, Chapter 6, World War I. Now, I've taken a lot of time off since the last time I did Chapter 5, which was the sinking of the Titanic. And for me, I have to be completely honest with everybody. You know, one of the things, I've always been a big advocate for peace and conflict and division and fighting amongst brethren really, really bothers me. I'm sure it would bother anyone, you know? But as I've matured and gotten older, I've found that a little bit of arguing is good. Because what it does, we're all in need of correction when we're wrong. And, you know, there comes a point where we're not to judge, but that doesn't mean we're not to discern. And when you choose the people that you decide to be close to in your life, you have to discern whether those relationships are something you wish to obtain or reject. And personally, I've come to reject a lot of the friendships that I've made because of the lack of interest I have for these teachings that lead us astray. You see, it's interesting studying the Bible and then to study history and to link the two together. It's actually very necessary because a lot of Bible prophecy cannot be fulfilled unless things occur in history to reflect that prophecy. Or rather, God gave us the Word of God through His people over thousands of years so that we might have a record. Now, that record has been corrupted by men, and the witness of that record has been corrupted. But depending how you discern the Bible, then it will validate or it will, what should I say? Will either validate or it will reject what the teachings of historians claim, or, you know, in other words, the inerrancy of the Bible is refuted by a lot of people, I mean, there are a lot of people that will say, no, the Bible is incorrect and there's problems with this or there's problems with that. But the spirit of prophecy, the spirit of our living Christ, which came through the apostles into our present day, well, before that occurred, before we had our apostles, there was the Old Testament, and that was just a continuation. And I know I'm not getting this 100% correct, but anyway, I'm going to put the camera down, find a good spot, and start the reading for today. Oh, it's a beautiful evening here. It'd almost be better to just sit and watch the sun go down first. But, yeah, I just thought that, I'd try the internal microphone a little bit here. And it's such a beautiful spot here, and there's no one here tonight. And one of the reasons I wanted to come here is there's a section of highway that's closed down right now for repairs, and traffic is really, really low, and it's very quiet. And I just thought this would make a really, really nice place to do a reading, just for the fun of it and the video to boot. So maybe what I'll do is take the video and then later put the audio to it. But I treated myself this year to a new camera body for my old lenses. And these lenses I inherited from Dad. And my dad was an artist for the Star and Tribune, Minneapolis newspaper. I grew up in Minneapolis. My mother is from western Minnesota, and she grew up, as they say out here, in the sticks. She grew up in the sticks, which means out of the city. And, my mother's side of the family, she would always call us city slickers. Or my mother's side of the family would always call us city slickers. My cousins, my cousins on my mom's side. And we'd have fun with that when we were young, growing up. It was so much fun to go visit my aunt and uncle in their dairy farm and get out of the city and just be part of what goes on a farm. And, when we were young, there was a lot of trouble going on in that family. And we didn't know. We were just young children, just playing around with our cousins, having a grand old time. And we didn't know that, there is this huge issue with alcohol abuse in my aunt's family. And, I never really learned that till later in life. And it's probably good, It's probably good not to learn the really hard stuff till you can handle it. And I believe, Bible prophecy is that way. There are times in life where you just can't handle it. It's just too much. And you melt down. Maybe you're living in the city. Maybe you're living in a concrete jungle. I lived there for 33 years. Or 37, actually. 37 years of my life I lived in the concrete jungle. And this year I'm 47, so it's going to be 10 years this year of living away from the concrete jungle. And I could not put that into words, how grateful I am to be living away from that place. I don't know if these microphones can pick that up, but can you hear that airplane? Okay, I lived in South Minneapolis, and there's a huge airport in South Minneapolis. And we lived on a plot of land right by the airport. And the airport would, just completely, it's like living in a war zone, you know? When I was young, I had this fascination with airplanes. I just loved it for a long time when I was young. I was fascinated with the planes, actually. But you get to be in your late teens and then into your 20s and then into your 30s, and it's like, I'm really sick of this. I'm really, really, really sick of it. In fact, I'm just completely sick of the city. I just love being away. Sure, the city has a lot of advantages, mainly food. There's fantastic produce in the city. Out in the country, it's not that easy at all. In fact, really, really super good place. And my neighborhood just closed for organic produce. So I no longer have a huge organic selection, nor do I have good raw supplies that I really enjoy, like lentils. I love lentils. Lentils are my favorite. And French lentil soup is my favorite soup. And probably make it too much, but I haven't made it a long time now, so I miss it. But anyway, beautiful sunset here. This is gorgeous. But anyway, just thought I'd share a little something before I do a reading and capture this beautiful sunset while I'm at it. But yeah, it's not a cheap camera I just bought. It was really quite expensive, but I bought it used. I didn't buy a brand new one. I found one like in mint condition for 2/3 of the price, And I just decided that this might inspire me and be a little bit more creative with getting outside and shooting photos and doing video. And I'm sure this is going to be beautiful video. I tried it before. It really looks nice. It shoots a high format, a higher rate format than my other cameras. And that is a much more higher quality format. I also have a polarizing filter on this lens, and the polarizing filter helps me to balance the contrast in the sky. Like if I rotate the polarizer, then I can change the blues. You can see the dark. You can make it very high contrast, dark blue, as opposed to a lighter blue without the filter. But anyway, I'm gonna shut this down because our sun is set now.